we'll start the new topic called map, reduce, and filter. These are the three. Yeah, that one.
Sir, sometimes it's not connecting Zoom, sir. Now it will take time. That's why message in WhatsApp.
Square.
Just write the in the above. Write the questions. To question is add corresponding numbers in the list. COR.
So RES POINT.
So numbers, yeah. So that means here, let's say I have a list or tuple 1, 2, 3, 4. I want 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 3 plus 3, 6, 4 plus 4, 8. So mapping, 1 to 1 mapping. Okay. So in that case, how you do in your this one? The same thing again, you have to take a loop and only loop and take whatever is coming, just add it. Like that you can do and put it in a list. But using map, what will happen? What is the syntax of map is, let's say first you have to take a that number equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now the result equal to map and addition. Here you have to write your program. So this program you can write in a Lambda function, or you can create a user defined function, whatever. Okay. So now the addition, I have created a function def addition n plus 1. Comma, you have to give the input as a number. That means what will happen, if you see the line number 10, it is how it is working, the map function, how it is working. So first it will take call the addition is the function n. Okay. Now number is nothing but 1. First time 1 will go, what it will return, n plus n. So if you are passing 1, so 1 plus 1, 2, it will return. So next time it will pass 2. What it will return? 2 plus 2, 4. Next time it will pass 3, it will return 3 plus 3, 6. Okay, then 4, 4 plus 4, 8. So like that it is working. So that thing you can use in a loop, but without using loop also you can do map. Map will do that one-to-one mapping things.
Fast. Easily you can do.
This way also you can do, yes. So this is the syntax. You have to write this one small function, then call this function here, and one by one it will do. Then print list result. List means no need to append. If you write list means automatically that square bracket will come, within that it will give. Okay. So you understood the map function? So map means one-to-one mapping it will do for that. We'll do one more example, you'll understand. Now do that the second example. No, not that one. Only 3 lines. No, above 3 lines. That one, correct. Copy, paste it below. Now this is example 2. Same thing, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 is there, but here we have used a user defined function, addition. But here directly instead of that user defined function, we are writing in a lambda function. Lambda x equal to x plus x. That's it, nothing else, same. Now run it. You are getting same result, right? So this you can write creating a user defined function and call it, or else directly write the lambda function here. Lambda x equal to x plus x, done. Any questions or any doubt? No, right? So
No, sir.
these are the different smart ways to do this program and all. That's it, nothing else.
Okay.
So you should know all the technique. That's it. There is nothing much complex. Just if you practice it, it will be hands-on. Now do the third one. So here adding two list using map and lambda. No. Now do it, copy it from here, correct. So here, this is another example of map function. So what we can do, I have a list 1, 2, 3. I have another list 4, 5, 6. Okay. I want to add it. Okay. So 1 plus 4, 2 plus 5, 3 plus 6, 1 to 1 mapping. How to do that? Run it. Okay. So 1 plus 4, 5, 2 plus 5, 7, 3 plus 6, 9. How to do that? So again, you can do using simple lambda function map lambda. Here two variables are there. So you have to take x comma y colon x plus y. So you have to pass those two list number 1 comma number 2. That's it, done. Then print list of that result. Okay. This is the shortest way. And again, this program you can write using a user-defined function also. You can create a user-defined function and call it here instead of lambda. But this is, I mean, less. I mean, in one line you can do it.
Okay.
Okay, like that. Small programs you can practice.
Okay.
Now let's go to the next one. Now this is the reduce function. No, not there. That is filter. Reduce one, only reduce. That one. So map is done, clear. So map means one-to-one mapping it will do without any loop and all. Automatically the map function it will do that iteration inside. Now say copy paste it.
Yes.
So reduce function. What do you mean by reduce function? Okay. Let's say I have a list 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I mean, I'm giving here 1, 2, 3, 4, but you can declare a list L equal to this and you can give L. Okay. That is also you can do. So here just give enter after reduce. Not there. From there. Then after function also you do enter. Return x1 plus x2. Enter. Okay. So here for reduce, you have to use a library called function tools. Okay. So func tools is nothing but a library. From there is a reduce function. Okay. You can use that. So I want the output to sum up this, whatever is there inside the list. I want the sum of everything. Okay. So how to do? So using reduce function. So reduce, then call that function and that list you can pass it here 1, 2, 3. So how it is happening internally? What it will do? First it will add 1 plus 2. What is 1 plus 2?
3.
3. Now the output will be 3, 3, 4. Okay. Now again what will do? 3 plus 3, 6. Okay. So 6, 4. Now next time 6 plus 4, 10. That's it. Now like that it will reduce one by one.
Okay.
Run it. Okay. So this is nothing but your reduce function. So why it is reduce means the logic is like this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So first time it will do the sum of two numbers. Only 1 plus 2 it will do the sum. Then next time this 3 plus 3. Then 6 plus 4. Then it will come to 10. So just two number it will add. Then it will go on and it will reduce the thing and give the output at last.
Okay.
Clear? So this
Yes,
is
sir.
nothing but your reduce function.
Lambda also you can do, no, sir?
Using lambda also you can do.
Yeah. But this is another technique.
This is okay. Let's do it using lambda. No, it's not there. That one, correct. Copy that. Enter. See here, there is only one. Remove
Yes,
that
sir.
second one.
Yes.
Number equal to 1, 3, 4. Okay. Now result equal to, instead of map, write reduce. Okay. Now just pass only number. That's it. Run it.
Initialization object.
So what do you mean by filter? Filter means it will filter whatever you want. Let's say I have a list 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13 and all. I want to filter only the even numbers. Okay. Run it. So how to filter only even numbers from the list? So you can write filter lambda x modulus 2 equal to 0. So if it is divisible by 2, then filter that. That's it. Okay. So this is nothing but your lambda function. Sorry, filter. So map, reduce and filter. Okay. I mean, any doubt here in filter?
No, sir.
Almost.
So what will happen is once the logic is written, then you are passing the value. So one by one it will go and it will check and it will filter. It's like a loop and if.
Okay.
Instead of loop and if, directly use filter.
Okay.
Save it.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is nothing but map, reduce and filter. These are the intro point of view. They'll ask what is map, reduce, and filter. Okay. Try to understand the concept. Now go to the next one. Okay. These are some advanced topics on the user defined function that we did. So let's see how it works. Okay. So first of all, there is a first class function in Python. Okay. What do you mean by first class function? To become a first class function, you have to satisfy three. And there should be three characteristics for this first class functions. First is we can assign function to a variable. Okay. Second thing is function can be passed as an argument to other function. You write in the beginning, you write two dot. Third one is function can return another function. This is third one. Okay. What does it mean? We'll go one by one. Example. Okay. Now go up. Now go to the first one. Copy and paste it, your first one. So here first class function means first we can assign a function to a variable. What do you mean by this? Let's say let's create a function. Okay. So def upper you're passing some argument text. Now how to write a function to convert into uppercase. Okay, so you have to write text dot upper. Upper is a inbuilt function, right?
Yes, sir.
Now just print that function name upper hello. Run it. So it will print in capital, right? Now it is telling we can assign a function to a variable. Okay, let's say x is a variable. I can assign that upper as a x to a variable. Now x will act same as upper. Okay, now here see, instead of upr I am writing x hello. Same
Yes.
thing. So that means we can assign function to a variable. That's it. Clear?
Okay, sir. But you can use this way also, no, sir? You in company you can make some.
Yeah.
function
No,
different.
first you define that function. Then if you want to assign that function to a variable, you can assign to a variable also. That's it. Nothing. So this is the characteristics of a first class function, that we can assign to a variable, to a function. That's it.
Okay.
Now go to the second one. Okay, so here function can be passed as an argument to other function. Okay, what do you mean by argument? That we are passing, right? In upper we are passing something. Those are arguments. Okay. So what we are passing arguments, basically we pass the argument as a some number or string, right?
Yes, sir.
So here, let's say first we defined a function called upper. We are passing an argument text, then return text dot upper. That means this function, what it is doing, it is converting into uppercase. Now there is another function called lower. Okay, this lower is converting into lowercase. Okay. Now there is another function called greet. So here I am writing that string. This string is, this is hi, I am created by this is all. So now how to call this? So I'll call only greet. 16 and 17 I'm calling greet. Just run it once. So if you call it, I'm calling a function greet. Inside what I am passing? I'm passing a function again. In the greet, I'm passing not a string, not a number. I'm passing a function upper. That means in greet, whatever is written, convert into uppercase.
Okay.
Now second one, in greet, lowercase. That's it. So it's kind of it's nothing but a kind of oops concept. So we have divided into three different functions or objects. Now whichever you will pass, that will give that result. That's it. Clear? So that means here functions can be passed as an argument to other function. Okay. So here we have three functions. So in the greet function we are passing the first function, it will give uppercase. In the same greet function you are passing lower function, so it will give you lowercase. That's it. Clear? I'll give you some this one in my later session. I'll give you some of the assignments so that you can understand. But at least now you understand that a function can be passed as an argument to another function. Okay. Any question there?
No, sir.
Okay. Now go to the next one. No, not that. Above one. No, not that. That is separate one. Huh? Till here. So third one is function can return another function. Okay. So here what will happen? See, I've created a function. So this is to add two numbers. Okay. 10. So how to add two numbers? We have written two functions. This is not, as I told you, this is again, we are not going to do in this way to add two numbers, but how we can pass another function, how the function can return another function. So let's say there is a function create adder x. Now inside one more function is there. It is passing y. Now return x plus y. Okay. So this return is for inner function. Okay. Now for outer function, this is the return. What it is returning? Adder. Adder is nothing but your inner function name, right? So now if you run it, so what it is happening? Okay, just do one thing. Enter in the come last.
Yes.
Enter. Print within bracket. Create adder. Enter. 10, 5. No, don't give 10, 5. 10 bracket close. Then bracket start. Now comment the 9th and 11th one. Comment. Run it. Okay. So I'm calling the first function create adder. Now x equal to 10 here, y equal to 5 here. Okay. Now it will go inside. It will give 10 plus 5. That's it. And in the output, what will give? It will return the adder, the output of this simple thing. But it is a, I mean, function within the function. Okay. But here I want to tell you that function can return another function. Here it is returning a function, right? Adder. That's it. Anyhow, we are not going to use this thing for this, but this can be happened. Okay. These are all OOPS concept.
Okay, but where you can use the real-time applications of this model? Function to function.
Yeah. So function return means, let's say sometimes I'll tell you some of the business rules or some of the mathematical calculation you want to return this, and so it will kind of a function within the function. I'll give you some of the exercise, okay, later in the session, so that you can understand this.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you.
Okay.
Now let's complete this last one, decorator. Run it. So here, see, in line number 15, what we are doing, we are creating a function to divide two numbers. Okay, simple. Now return a by b. But if I give 0, what will happen? It will give 0 division error.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that we can handle using exception, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But here the smart divide means what? Decorator means what? It's kind of a, before that you can write something, some function. So before this I have written a smart divide a function. Okay. And this function you can call it before writing any function by giving @ symbol. @ smart divide. That means why we use this? So no need to write this function again and again. Let's say you create a general exception case, and no need to write for every function exception. Write one exception and call that before any function giving @ symbol. So it will writing everything will be like a wastage of your time, and again unnecessary. It will increase the coding size, right? So once you can write it, then just call that function, right? Like this @. So now how it is happening? Let me explain you. So here what will happen? First, you are calling as a divide 10 comma 0. So it will go to divide. It went to divide now. 10 means A, 0 means B. Okay. So before that, what will happen? It will call to the at the rate smart divide is there. So it will go to the smart divide. So it will come to the row number 5 now. So in the smart divide, it will go as a comma B. Okay. Inner A, B. Now it will print I am going to divide 10 comma 0. Now it will check here. B equal to 0. Yes. So it will print we cannot divide. Now if you give 10 comma 5,
Yes.
10 comma 5, row number 18. Now run it. So how it is happening? So now again it will go to divide. Row number 15, 10 comma 5. Then it will go to the smart divide. There 10 comma 5. Then I am going to divide 10 5. If b equal to 0, no, it's not equal to 0. Then it will return to function AB. That means function AB means it will come back to row number 15. It will come back here and it will divide and give the output. That's it. So it won't go inside. It will return to the function itself because if it is not 0, it's kind of a exception handling or something. You can do it. So this is nothing but your decorator.
Okay.
So whenever you need any generalized things, you can write it separately and call it using @. Okay.